Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Rochester. We're at the top 8 of the regional championships that happened at Millennium Games in 2016. My name is Tim.
I'm Marcus.
I'm Nam.
And I'm Jeremy.
And we've got Joseph here on the left, who is coming in as the number 8 seed, and then Josh on the right coming in as the number 1 seed.
So Whizzard!
Whizzard. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, a very surprising identity to see at this point.
Yeah, no one ever plays that.
Yeah. Actually, to give you the faction breakdown on the top 8, on the runner side, there were 4 Wizards, a Max, 2 Haleys, and a Leela. And then on the Corp side, we had 4 Paulina, which came out of nowhere, seemingly, 2 NEH, and 2 Engineering the Future. So there were kind of a dominant ID on each side. But we saw
Doesn't the N have like a little tilde over it, so it's Palanya? Is that actually how it's pronounced?
No, it's got stuff over the A's. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Oh, okay, me neither.
So we're getting into the game here. We've got NEH gaining money, installing things, shocking things from NVN. And if you remember, if you've been watching the previous videos, Joseph was in the last round. He just barely squeaked his way into the top 8, so we'll know a little bit about what's going on in his deck. And Josh, I'm assuming, is running a fairly standard Wizard deck?
Yeah, Wizard decks don't vary too much these days. Except for, the occasional spicy account siphon build.
Yes.
I was using small 6-sided dice for money.
Yeah.
I like
he's keeping them at maximum 5 per side, which I played Josh in the first round, and I complimented him on keeping him only on 5s on his dice.
That's nice. I like that.
Looks like we're on a asset spam over
Yeah,
here.
so we saw a Moment Temple, and again, asset spam has gotten good, so Wizard gets even better. So
Yep.
Especially with the lack of ice protecting everything.
Yes.
So
yeah, and NEH, especially the asset spam, runs really ice light.
It's quite the emphatic rolling technique.
yeah.
Pound the table.
That's called using a dice cup, which I highly recommend.
I mean, especially because he was rolling a D4 there. If you've tried to roll a D4 before, it doesn't roll very well.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, at least if it was a 6, I can kind of see him free rolling it, but with that, I guess you have to.
That was interesting there. He let him keep the Jackson, which he then immediately uses to draw through. I see this a lot with Wizard players, is if you can't use your Wizard credits, you're like really hesitant to trash things. But in that position, with 8 credits...
You might as well go and trash it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he'll go trash it now, but...
Saving up for Sans, that's
that could be.
Yeah, that's the thing. It could be, he just did it there. He wanted the recurring.
Yeah.
He only had 1 turn. That's not...
Yeah, so it only gives him 1 turn of Jacksoning, but he could have potentially pitched things or drawn into stuff he wants, so...
Yeah, I figured, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of a crapshoot, especially if it's on the runner's first click. It's like, do you want it really?
Yeah.
Could you see something better, kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
But, does he have pennies on his
Yes,
click
those
counters?
He does,
I asked him about this, actually. His click counters, if you notice, they're so worn out that he couldn't tell when he had flipped them or not. To use them for, flipping purposes, so he put the pennies on, so it was obvious which side was which.
Excellent.
Also gave it a little more weight, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't get knocked around and stuff.
Right. Good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Always a fan of people that use click counters.
That was the cut of fate. It will affect the game.
As always.
Man,
Especially at a tournament when it's nice and clear, nice clear click counters.
Yeah,
that way it's like, easier. Look, we don't have to worry about policing each other. Ooh. This is what I'm doing.
Assassin off the top there. So
to save him.
So he's got some heavier ice for NEH.
Yeah, that's a big ice.
Yeah, Wizard does have money where if he cared about his hand, could pay through the traces here.
Honestly, I saw a lot of assassin splashes as the big ice splash on regional day. I saw a lot of
when he gets the Astro.
Oh, please note, this is actually prior to the July 2016 NAPD Most Wanted changes,
Yes.
So there will be 3 in the deck.
Yes. This was in April of 2016, so...
The glory days, as it
This
were.
was right after the Salsette Island pack had come out. And we see him, so he's only on 2 credits, so he just face blasts into HQ with no cards in hand.
I don't think he's running snares.
Yeah, and he's only got 2 credits.
Oh, that's a good point, too, yeah.
We have seen some Cobra running around in these NEH decks, so...
Surprise shock.
Yeah.
Curses!
Every time I've got some influence running around, I'm like, let's just put a snare in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you have 2 influence floating around, are you sure you're...
Back in the Corset days, that was
Yeah,
pretty much the
that's
case.
true.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't have anything influence to spend, so snare, sure.
Okay, so continuing to spam assets. And normally you'd think, he's on very low money, but we've seen Momba Temples, so things can res really cheaply. So you have to have a little fear here, but Josh, no fear, all balls.
I mean, yeah, he doesn't have much to lose, really.
Yeah.
And he's thinking, the likelihood that there's anything damaging is so low that this is probably the correct call.
There's one of those Sand Sands.
Yeah, you definitely kill the Sand.
It is nice to be able to trash him for 2.
Yes, and yeah, Sensi for me is a trash on sight.
Yep. That card is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially for fast NEH, it is the card to have. Slam in the dice cup. Oh my.
Oh, well.
Okay, that's 15.
Yeah, he can just take that back, whatever.
Yeah, and he's in no rush, so he can click it kind of at any time.
Mm-hmm. So it's surprising how often the Corp ends up not clicking it away and then regretting it.
I have lost games because I forgot to click 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Right, that has an ability, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Tim, the pro play is to click 15 minutes.
Yes, I am not a pro player. Oh, boot camp. Okay, yeah, boot camp we saw in one of the previous games, but that is, again, an interesting splash for NEH.
I like boot camp.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
boot
you put
camp's-
it in there if you're worried about Valencia, and it just
Technically
discounts
over VAR as well. It does shut down Snitch.
That's true. That's
I
true.
don't know if this was before
This was
that was
this
kind
was
of a thing?
before that
Okay.
that hit. Yeah. So, do you think he's?
I actually kind of feel like boot camp's a little underrated. I feel like more people should use it, but
Yeah. And it's always one of those cards that's like right on the bubble. It's like if I had like a little extra influence, so like
the,
an extra card slot or two.
The
like,
50th card. Is
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
exactly.
I only had 1 influence, but I have 2, so I got a snare.
Yeah. There's nothing I could do about it.
yeah, right.
My hands are tied.
Oh, he's
museum.
got museums. Hopefully, we're not in for an hour-and-a-half game here. So that is. So
Well, there's
that
one
means-
museum in the yard, so that makes it more likely we're okay.
Yeah. So that means he is likely running the larger deck, which means he's got some extra agendas in there.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd want to spend influence on Museum.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like because it's what 2 if you don't get the alliance.
It's 2 per, yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 per,
doesn't
so it's like
seem-
you probably want to get the alliance bonus.
Yeah, especially assuming he's got Astros and Sands. He's already soaking up a lot of influence.
Mhm.
So
Looking at his estimating on deck size, I'm thinking he has the larger deck size.
it's
Yeah.
looking thick.
And also NEH too. I mean, they have the 17, so I mean,
Yeah,
if he absolutely needed to.
true. Which again, another spoiled NBN ID with 17 influence is coming soon.
Do you think that maybe that's like a game design decision that they're saying, hey, NBN, they are the widest ranging thematically, network.
Just from like a pure like flavor.
Yeah,
standpoint?
right. And it's like
That's actually
instead
not
of
bad,
giving
yeah.
the other ones
Yeah.
because they're kind of focused on their things, but
Yeah.
they're like the communication people, so maybe they have the most influence because of that.
That would make sense flavor wise, because game wise it doesn't make any sense.
Yes,
Because
game-wise, it
they
doesn't
get
make any
Jackson for
sense.
free.
3 free influence and then 17. Sounds good. Oh, he broke his rule. Oh, okay. Oh, the dice. He put it to 6.
He put it 6 briefly before.
We're calling you out. Are they debating clicks here? Hopefully he's been tracking his clicks correctly.
It is easy to forget sometimes.
Yeah, I find even if I'm using click trackers, I mess it up half the time.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm a runner, I use my die, but I mean, I am usually pretty good with it. But as Corp, because I use my clicks so quickly in succession, it's generally a non-issue. But
That's why even with click trackers, I usually prefer it for myself and for others. Not just flipping, but like we have a friend who uses little glass stones, and whenever he does an action, he pulls it to what his action was.
Yeah.
So you can almost like see the story of his turn, and it's also easy to review and know what the situation.
Do it exactly the same way.
Yeah.
Wrap around.
Yeah.
I love wrap
So
around
this
so
looks
much.
to me like he's trying to score something quick out of this remote.
Didn't trash the pad, though. It's interesting.
It's interesting. It
Guess
wouldn't have...
He might have wanted to have him spend a buck first, because you don't gain.
Yeah,
like,
that
the
is
first
true,
time.
and he's likely not going to ice it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Although
and
it's a click lost, and it is an Astro.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Okay.
Aim is a foot.
NEH scoring out of remotes.
I think
don't
it
know
was
how I feel
just-
about
I'm so sad to see this right now.
that.
I think it was
2 Astros on the table. We'll never see it again.
I know.
just in case Whizzard
Same
had
trouble.
managed to make it through that and it was like a Sansan. I think that's what he wanted to save that.
That's,
Oh, I
that's
see.
what
Okay,
that's
save,
what I was thinking.
save 2 credits in case he gets in there.
Yes,
That's
correct.
what I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he kills Pat.
Right,
Yeah,
but
no,
I mean, he
he
killed
was
it now,
at-
so not an issue.
Okay. And was he at enough if that had been just like pop-up windows? I don't recall. Oh, and so Josh pointing out that he just puts counters on where he's put his parasites. So you
I
know,
like that.
because it's very easy with parasites to lose track of memory
Memory.
with them,
Yeah,
miss them.
that's
So
huge.
like this keeps it very clear what's in your rig.
The problem is if you have multiple and you only have one color
Yeah.
of marker, so you need separate colored markers. Or
Keep
something.
pairs or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do pairs with dice. Like, I'll put like a pair of 1s and 2s. So it's like, this parasite's the 1. This one's the 2, if I were to do that.
Actually, inspired by the guy I just mentioned, I have some glass stones that are different colors, so...
Nice.
That's what I like to use for Fem, and although we
Yes.
got those fancy Fem tokens
Yeah, we got
now,
fancy
so...
Fem. Which is, if you're curious, there it's somewhere on the channel. There's some from that ANRPC event where we got those fancy Fem tokens. Go check it out.
Oh, he put a die on 6.
You're excommunicated.
Got a wild side coming down over
Yeah,
here.
Wild Side, he's got money. And this is, I mean, Wild Side is the card you need, essentially, because it just draws you into everything else.
Yeah, he.
Yeah, he,
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Oh, I see. Career Fair.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, Career Fair, very solid in this deck. You're installing a lot of resources that cost 3.
David!
Ah, yes.
The big man himself.
I'm wondering if we'll all see a Goliath ice come out.
He's the small man
That would
himself.
be
That's the
thematic.
whole point.
Yeah, I totally want to see the Goliath. But wouldn't it be ironic if it didn't have strength 5 or greater?
Strength 4.
David versus Goliath. Oh, Goliath.
Oh.
Or like 4 subs.
So, do we think that's him trying to push another agenda down there in a new remote once he sees David come out?
It's possible.
Or do you think that's just some kind of asset?
I don't know. He iced it.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess Wizard you have to ice assets anyway a lot of the time.
Yeah, to a certain extent. I don't know. Depends what it is.
I think it's a Jackson, only because, or at least an asset that is not an agenda, because I think if it was an agenda, why wouldn't he put it behind... I mean, I know that David could break through it at this point,
Yeah,
but
like,
like
if that's-
it's 2 ice protection versus
Yeah.
1, unless that 1 ice is stupidly awesome.
Yeah. Or, like, maybe the ice behind it's like toll booth or something Davidable. Who knows?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, there's a toll booth.
Yeah.
So, does he David through here?
Could be a museum or a Mamba as well. You
That's
might wanna
true,
keep
yeah,
that around.
that is true.
Yep.
So it's interesting with the museum include is a little interesting to me here because NEH you're trying to go really fast and museum tends to slow you way down.
I actually think it's a
Although-
dilution strategy, less
Yeah.
so much the actual you need those cards more versus I just need to put these back. Or if you get into a bad situation where you can't Jackson something back, I mean it's got more uses than just getting a card back.
Yeah.
It's also one of those things when the meta is heavily Wizard,
Yeah.
you're getting all these
That's
assets
true.
killed,
Yeah, true.
and this way you're cycling them back
you can
through.
use
It helps
them
your
actually.
economy.
True.
NEH's
Oh.
draw also.
Oh,
tends to-
super
just
lucky.
Okay.
Okay.
So he did go through on HQ.
He may want to think about clicking that 15 minutes right now.
Yeah, now would
Yeah.
be the time for 15. Because this is a window for Josh if he just goes for something.
Could check that. What if that?
And he knows it too.
Yeah, so
there
he
you go.
checks
It's
it.
a-
Yep.
you can see from his body language
Yeah,
there.
like,
He's like,
oh.
okay, I can win here. I can do this.
Is that an agenda?
Oh,
it's a
CBS.
Oh.
Okay. And
Purge.
yeah, it's interesting. I guess because he had to res the toll booth because he had agendas in hand. Because it's interesting that he would ice and then not res it.
I mean, also it could be like a bluff tactic too.
Yeah, that too. Like,
This also brings up an interesting thing, and I've thought this for a long time. Do you think, and I'm wondering if like in the testing phase it changed, do you think that originally David didn't say power counters, but said virus counters?
if it said viruses, then it's much more balanced, I think. But it's also much worse, I think.
Yeah.
No,
It's exploitable.
Yeah.
It's exploitable, but it also has weaknesses then.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if it was just too exploitable and it was just
Yeah.
too in testing that they made it power counters. Because it's odd because it's in Anarch,
Yeah.
which leans its way towards the virus.
Right.
I thought this for a long time with David.
Yeah,
I wonder
it
if
could
it
be.
started that way.
Yeah, I wonder if there was a previous version.
I would not doubt it, but I think maybe if in planning they knew that they were going to have all those things that interact with virus counters and put more virus counters and stuff, that would have been way too good.
So it is interesting to note, I believe the top card was an agenda when he drew that last turn.
Oh, interesting.
So had he
he
gone-
could've-
I try not to
Assassin.
focus on that.
Okay, and he forks it and seeing nothing.
Oof, forking the assassin. That's
Yeah.
tough.
And I mean, that's the big
That's what
thing.
she said.
Paying nothing other than
Yeah,
price.
exactly. I mean, that's the big strength of this deck is you pay no money to destroy their expensive ice.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a hedge fund, it looks like. Turntable's out, so he can go grab his Astro counter whenever he wants it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not whenever, but... Yeah. So yeah, Wizard rolling out. NEH trying to survive.
Welcome to Bar and Deep where you can get a nice medium dig going on.
Yeah. And that is, I mean, the Whizzard deck, it has a lot of strong cards, but a lot of them are just like 1 or 2 ofs. And so, like, you spend a lot of the game just, like, drawing for the stuff you need. And, I mean, playing against it feels like they always have it.
Yeah.
It's
Of
a
course.
It's a toolbox deck.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
toolbox decks do.
Yeah. Ooh, Archangel.
Out of David counters.
Yeah.
Though
Yep.
technically, I mean, at least it's the corpse decision here. Otherwise,
Yeah,
they're just
otherwise,
like, oh yeah, I'll take the David.
I think you probably bounce Wild Side here. Oh, he turntable because he'll get an access.
Ah, good point. Yeah.
Got
Yeah,
it.
that's a good point. And so, yeah, get those sensies out of here.
I mean, at least Sensi can't be protected by ice.
Yes, that is true. Oh, he's just going for it. Letting him
Interesting.
bounce things for I mean,
Yeah, with the 15 minutes clicked back, that seems odd.
yeah.
It's an interesting choice to me.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because also your turntable is gone, so you're not going to steal his Astro counter.
Right. Exactly.
And now you have to reinstall Wild Side. Huh.
I mean, that's 5 credits he just lost, basically.
Yeah.
And 2
Because
clicks.
they're things he wants, yeah.
And apparently takes an extra click.
Ah, dun dun dun.
Yes, because he would have still have
He lost his
the
wild. He
side
gave
click.
himself
Yep.
the Wild Side click back. Oh, well.
So usually when I have Wild Side out, I put my first click on it.
Yeah, that's what I
That's what a lot of people do.
Yeah. Okay, dumping the knife, that's interesting. Ooh, is this another?
I mean, if he didn't think he could break the knife is the barrier one, right? If he didn't
Yeah.
think he could break that,
Yeah, I guess if you're not planning on getting David back anytime soon.
right?
I mean, David is just a program install away, though.
Mm-hmm. That's true, he's got clone chip ready to go.
With the color contrast and the
Yeah, I was
shadow,
about to
I'm like,
say-
where's the deck? I can't see
I'm like,
it.
is his deck gone already?
He Theo game day his whole time.
That's right. Optical illusion.
Then his hand moves and like, no, there's still plenty of deck there.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, okay.
I was thinking the exact
Exact same thing.
Cycling David's here.
So there's David. And does he make... Okay, now he
There's
does
the
have the
knife.
knife. So it leaves him with no credits in case that is like Sansan or something down there.
Where's
And
that?
it's Sansan.
Uh-huh.
You called it.
Bummer. Well, good play on Joseph's part.
Well, wraparound's gone, at least.
Yeah, that is true.
And apparently he did not res whatever that ice is. Oh,
Yes.
he wouldn't have resed anyway because he doesn't have the
he knows
money.
he can't.
So, yeah.
You don't want to reveal what it is. And also, you don't want it up for Parasite.
Especially
Yep.
if it's a surprise, yeah.
God, it's impressive how much he's pulling off with only David
Yeah.
Yeah.
having hit the table.
Yeah. You have such a minimal rig when you're Anarch. You just get, like, I need this right now, and that's it. You're not some shaper sitting there, like,
Building a
building
dime rig.
things.
I want all of the things.
Pretty much the old criminal way, to be honest.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's the old criminal way.
Yeah.
It's so odd because early Anarch it was I need a lot on the table
Yeah.
to make all these pieces fit together into the
Right.
machine I'm building.
Mm-hmm.
And now Anarch could just be like, give me all the influence, we're awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, low on... Wizard's in a bit of a tight spot, though, because he's low on... Okay, so, but he has career... So career fair is really nice for that.
Yeah.
Because formerly you would have to click up to get to daily cast, or click up for a long time to get to liberated account.
Yeah, spending 3/4 of a turn is... It's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, for one thing, so, you know, it's not so bad now. Career Fair is only one influence,
Yep.
so it's a good choice on a lot of things.
Yes.
It just sucks when you get them at the end of your deck
Yes.
when you've already played all your resources.
Yes.
But that's what Levy's for.
Yeah, you have Levy and you're just throwing to Faust. Everything feeds Faust. Just the same.
Do we know if this build of Wizard runs fast? I'm assuming it
I'm
does.
assuming it does.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but
We haven't seen it yet, but
so far
it
it's
looks
been
like
pretty
it
standard.
does. Yeah.
Maybe he's feeling good enough that he can break through anything with the David.
Doesn't cost any money.
To be honest,
Yeah,
every ice
yeah,
we've
that is
seen
true.
is Davidable.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
true.
true.
You're
Except for
right.
the toll booth, technically. 'Cause
No,
it
no,
still
no,
needs 3
it
credits
is.
for it.
He needs the money.
Well, he needs the
needs
money,
a little
Right.
but I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah,
it's...
Yeah,
But
yeah.
everything is breakable with David.
True.
Right.
No, we saw the Enigma earlier.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah, we
going
did see one
It
of
was
those.
a score. Unless he just decided to res it for free. Or...
No, that was a score.
That was a score.
Is this where he was supposed to
tell?
clone chip
It's
for
like
his
a
clot?
deal?
Because, you know...
I believe it was a Beal. We didn't see him put a counter on it.
Yeah.
So that puts him at 4 points. He has an Astro counter still.
Pretty good position.
I mean, I didn't watch obviously all the games or anything, but I felt like I didn't see Clot that much.
No,
at the
a lot
tournament.
of at least this Wizard build doesn't have Clot in it.
Yeah.
Because you're using your clone chip for other things. You don't have ways to find it. And I think some of the Haleys had it, but yeah, there wasn't a lot of Clot on the deck.
Not
so
tons of Clots.
I was surprised. actually.
Again, it goes back to what we were discussing in a prior game from this tournament. I think so many people came in expecting IG everywhere, and then no one ran it.
Yeah, so everybody had the IG hate strong.
Everybody tried to metagame the metagame, and then they counter-meta'd the meta.
The elusive double metagame.
Yeah.
Now he's got his click back with
yeah.
lovely pancakes down there.
So the engine is a rolling.
I can't wait until they make another resource, and all it has is an image of maple syrup. I don't know what it's going to be called.
It doesn't matter what it does.
I will put it in the deck.
Okay, so I think we've had 2 Sands trashed.
Yep.
I don't know what it'll do, but I can guarantee it'll be excessively Canadian.
I hope a Canadian wins Worlds, so we get some like ultra Canadian cards into the game.
Or like visit Canada, like they visited India.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I'm
That'd be
reading
awesome.
through the Worlds of Android book, and Toronto is still a city in
there you
this
go.
universe. Yeah.
Still need to finish that.
Yeah. So he's got his draw going. So yeah,
He's just checking his heat
showing him
now.
what he's got for clone chips and same old things.
I mean,
Looks
considering
like
there's not that much diversity in his
Spoon down to HQ.
heat, so...
There goes that toll booth.
David keeps trucking.
David the man.
Pay 3 credits to get rid of toll booth forever.
That's a lot of dead ice.
And I'm thinking, since the fact that he scored a Beal off Sansan
Oh.
makes me think there's something there. That's
Global
brutal.
food. It's only 2,
Oh, it's
though.
only global food, though.
Yeah. Man, you know what
Best
annoys the heck
three-pointer
out of
ever.
me? Global food and influence.
Yes.
But I understand why.
Yeah,
it makes a lot of
It has
sense.
to be.
Yeah.
That's not an agenda.
I'm going to steal this.
So I think that's both Cyberdecks and Archives. So
Yeah.
Normally they don't play more than 2.
yeah, it would surprise, especially from what we've seen with like the ice and museums and temples and all of that. This looks to be like a heavier NEH deck. Oh, yeah, it's
Just a wraparound.
Okay. So he's used his same old thing though. Normally you only have 1.
Could
in
have
this
Levy in
deck.
hand then, maybe?
So if by some trick Levy dies to some damage, that's a big deal.
Yes.
In NEH.
Yeah.
I mean, so far, I don't see any
I
evidence
haven't
of...
seen any.
No.
Other than
Unless
Assassin.
Scorching
Well,
or-
Assassin,
Yeah,
if he
Oh.
got some damage
Face
early.
plants another
That's true.
assassin.
Of course, he's got to afford to res the assassin at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, at this point
Yeah.
money is rough.
NEH is hurting
'Cause
on
he's-
the cat. Oh, of course. Oh, it's not like Whizzard is flush.
Yeah,
he
they're
has
actually they're
0.
both- yeah, running really low.
Still got 4 on Daily Cast down there, though, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've seen NEH play like I think 2 sweep sweeps, 2 hedge. Pads have gotten trashed, temples have gotten trashed. So actually they're running out of economy at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, now based on this situation, though, would you rather be the corp or the runner? I would feel much more comfortable as the runner.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
runner is in
That's
the
what
top
I'm saying.
position right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Way better shape.
To be fair, with an Astro counter, you don't really need all that much.
That
money.
is true. Like you're never in a bad place.
Right, but if he has
Just
only
2
got 4
credits.
points,
Yeah.
you know he's going to have to score at least 2 more times.
Yes,
That is true.
So-
And Josh is on game point here with even a 15 minutes wins in the game at this point.
Mhm. Can't click it away if you've lost. So
That's, yep.
this looks like a.
That's what you think!
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're waiting for that card where you get a click after the game ends.
I'll click you in the parking lot.
I'll click you in the parking lot. Oh boy.
They're trying to get arrested here, man.
You guys realize that you're friends with me, right?
Just silence.
Silence laughter.
We all
Silence,
consider the
awkward
fact that we're
laughter.
friends with Tom.
I'm trying to think of a quippy response, and I'm coming up blank, unfortunately.
You're welcome.
I'm engaged by the game. I'll say that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
what
I
do you-
mean,
what do
this
you
is
do-
really tense.
What do you do as Corp here? Just like click for credits a whole lot, essentially, and hope he doesn't hit your agendas?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean-
that's what you got to do.
He hasn't really been hammering R&D all that much, so
Does he go for goes for a score?
looks like he grabbed some sort of 3-2. I'm
Yeah,
not sure
it's
which.
just off screen, unfortunately.
Yeah,
It looked like
it's
he
tough to
pulled
tell.
the counter, so I think it's a Beal,
Yeah.
if I remember.
Oh, okay.
Which is
Yeah, because
I mean,
if it
you
was
don't
an
want him
Astro,
stealing it
he
from-
would have just moved the
Right.
counter, probably.
right.
Mhm.
Like again, you don't want him stealing it from your hand.
Yeah. He
So
needs
you
to
ca-
save
you might
whatever
just
cash he
have
has
to-
to get.
Yeah,
He's just a breaking news or 15 minutes away
yeah,
from
exactly.
winning,
So you have to kind of score everything you see, and yeah, there are 2 1-pointers still in the deck at this point, so it's not super dire for Joseph here.
Yeah, I mean, 2 1-pointers. 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 2 1-
Is Global Food a one-of in this deck, or?
I don't recall. So he has to play more agendas because he's... I think it runs a few Global Foods.
I'm going to assume at least 2.
Yeah, just in
Based on
terms
the-
of
based on-
numbers.
Yeah.
Sea Museum, I'm going to
'Cause
assume
you
at
need
least 2 globals.
22
Right.
points, so yeah, there's probably 2 foods, I would guess. Considering the David counter, and he goes for it. Because yeah, this could just... Oh, no, that doesn't trash.
Somehow trashing his own data.
No, no, no.
I mean, he's already got another one in there.
Yeah, so it won't matter,
the heat, but
hopefully in the long run.
Yeah.
And we see there's another assassin, but again, 0 crits.
not risen that.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow,
And they realize.
There we
Okay.
go.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So Whizzard has money, but he's exhausted 2 Davids. We haven't. He's probably drawn into. Yeah, there's
There's
Faust.
Faust.
There's
He's
Faust.
probably drawn into Faust by now. And so now, yeah, he's just one spooned or knifed away from a very strong game.
That's a very awkward phrase, man.
One spooned or knifed.
All the money.
Sorry.
I'm absolutely saying that if he plays. Clone chips the David. Which
I'm shocked by that. I had no idea that was going to happen.
He's going all the way.
I mean, like at this point, like he's got a lot of the stuff he wants in play, so he could have Fausted it down.
Mm-hmm. It's still pretty expensive. Yeah, 3 cards.
And there's the last sweeps week.
Ah,
Okay.
That was excellent.
Full
timing.
hand.
yeah. He really needed the money.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but you still need to defend R&D and then figure out. I mean, I guess your plan is draw a 2-1 at this point,
Mhm.
pretty much. So you have to just defend R&D.
Is he just not drawing ice? I mean, it's probably low on ice.
We saw an assassin, which is just expensive.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of ice destroyed,
Yeah.
and NBN doesn't exactly run like barrels of ice. I mean,
Especially if he's acid spam. He's
Yeah.
not going to run all that much.
Yeah, so I mean,
Right.
I guess the temples means he has less than 15,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't, that
which
small.
it's I don't know, it's pretty small, especially for an
For
expanded deck.
like a glacier-y looking NBN deck. Yeah, just taking them one at a time because... Oh, he's got Architect in there, too.
Architect.
Ooh,
It's spicy.
I like that. Yeah, he's got a lot of... Actually, we haven't seen a ton of influence. We've seen just the
that.
boot camp and the Architects and the Global Food, I think, right?
Well, also Astros and
Oh,
Saints.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. So, I mean, it all adds up. I mean, they might be little
taking the-
single or double dings, but I mean, it
Yeah,
adds
he
up.
is using these Davids liberally, though. I guess assuming he's probably going to levy soon, so he'll go back.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's got
There's a
Chrysium?
Chrysium as well. Which actually I had in my deck this day as well. I was expecting, in addition to Whizzard, I was expecting a lot of like Siphon Max, which I think one of those made the top 8, but I think might have been the only one, or one of a very few.
It's also pretty decent against medium. So
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Of course, it's Whizzard, so...
Yeah, I mean,
us
against
too.
the noise version of this, it's effective. Okay, so doing it the hard way here, maybe.
Alright, so now every decision has kind of gone away on both of them, I think. They're at the point where I think this is what I would call end game. At this
Yeah,
point.
right.
Oh,
It's-
yeah, everything's super
6-6.
heavy.
Race conditions.
Yeah.
At this point, it's a lot of like risk management.
Yes.
It's not necessarily about what's the best move. It's what's gonna put me in the best position. Sometimes you extend yourself just for a chance.
Paying the iron price to get into HQ here.
Yeah.
Which, as long as he's and
He
he's
has
got
to
a quick
discard,
enough,
what, 4
which-
cards, right? 3
Yeah.
to strength and then 1 to break.
Which he's throwing Mimic when he just saw Architect too, which is a little surprising.
I think he's trying to get it done before
Yeah.
he has to
Yeah.
worry
Is that the
about
third CVS?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the third one.
Third one.
3
Yep,
CVS?
so that's
Interesting.
3.
Did he didn't Jackson? Did he Jackson back the first one?
I do not
Or is this-
recall.
I don't think so.
But yeah, that's a lot of CVS for a deck which looks to be a little more remote focused.
I guess, it's a good
It's just-
decoy in the remote if you just
Yeah.
want to draw a card.
Yeah.
And it's just good against
I guess
Anarch,
it's a
too.
good decoy, I'd say, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we see,
Or it's possibly just never trashed it
Okay,
last
and he
time.
does levy here.
Okay. So maybe he wasn't afraid about the mimic. Or maybe he has another mimic in hand knowing it's okay. Or whatever.
No, you shuffle your hand in for Levy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Also,
Whoops.
easy to forget to not put
Yeah.
Levy aside.
Yeah.
Or to not shovel it in, rather.
Yes. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've had many times where it's been like shuffles. Oh man.
Hold on, let me go get it.
Man, if Levy shuffled itself back in though,
It'd be too
a
good.
bonkers card.
Because then you just run one.
Yes.
And that's all you would ever need. All the recursion.
Yeah.
It's already infinite at that point.
That and the same old thing. You're good to go.
Yeah.
Interesting shuffling technique.
Yeah, this is... They're both running, lean on credits, lean on stuff. Okay, icing HQ, so... Is this
To be fair, he's been hitting HQ constantly this
Yeah.
whole game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does that mean he's been missing though?
Yeah, I wonder.
It's either
Well,
that...
I think the fact he played that Beal, he didn't want to do Beal there.
Yeah,
But
that's very true.
but HQ's been under attack this whole
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Secondarily, even if he doesn't have anything, it might be worth it to just lead the runner into a sense of
trying to
having
true.
stuff.
draw him off of R&D a little bit.
I've done stuff like that,
Yeah.
knowing that
I do that all the time.
R&D is just way more dangerous, but
Yeah.
just knowing the other person's going to be like,
Maybe
maybe there's something
especially
there.
in a situation where like this, where it's like,
Yeah.
well, any wrong move could be. So if I can try to just soak up some clicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy some
And,
time,
yeah,
yeah.
Could
and
make the
especially like,
difference.
even more so in a top 8 where you're expecting your opponent to play like purely like rationally.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, he's doing that because of this. So like
Maybe that's
bluffs
why. Maybe that's why I haven't been in many top 8s.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, like bluffing becomes like almost even better here because people don't expect you to do it. Oh, there's
There's
Davids.
David.
another David.
I don't know if you guys were ever into the watching the poker stuff on ESPN at all, but I remember one of the first years where it was really big. The one guy was super conservative all the time, so whenever he bluffed, the announcers were like, "Whoa!" They're like losing their minds over it, and it always worked.
Yeah,
because he
it was-
played so conservative, he rarely
Yeah.
bluffed. So when he did, it always worked because everyone's like, "Well, he only bets when he has stuff." So.
Yeah. Breaks the Archangel, and we're considering here. So wonder if maybe a Jackson down below.
Is that his hand on the right? Or are those actually
that it?
remotes?
I think
I
there's...
think it's an installed thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, letting him have it. It looks like a
Pad,
museum or a pad. Or
Yeah, it
something.
was
Neutral
some
asset of some
Yeah.
sort.
neutral thing.
Yeah. So we'll use that there. You don't really want to keep going back and blowing David counters. Ooh, and just rolls the dice on one of these remotes. And that was Jackson.
That was Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Let's see what he's grabbing here. We looked at that museum
He's
lovingly.
considering- I think Sensi is probably a really good pull here. Econ and Sensi
He's going
is what
for
I
money.
would go for.
Ah,
That's all. Yeah, he's running out of David.
Running out of date. Wrap around.
Yeah,
Soak up
wraparound's
those
a
cards.
really good choice at this point because for Faust it's like 4 cards, and then for David it's an entire counter.
Yeah.
And it's cheap to use.
Ah, this is money and anti-David tech right there.
Yeah.
And Enigma, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. It fits in between. And you want things that aren't trashable as well because he's just going to be smacking
Right.
into you over and over. That's
Yep.
true.
That's why I went to sweep.
Yeah, Ice is good.
Yep.
And Sweep Sweep.
Ice and Econ.
Because he's also drawn.
Yeah, sweep sweeps is pretty good when they're drawing 2 cards a turn.
Yeah, it almost always is. Yeah, since Andromeda's gotten popular again, we've had the famous 8 credit sweep
Yep.
come back, which is always pleasant.
For the corp, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is purely pleasant depending which side you're on.
Right.
Because on the other side, it's
Especially when it's plus 16.
Oh, double sweeps, yeah.
Yeah, double sweeps turn 1 against Andromeda.
Brutal.
I've seen that twice, ever.
Oh, and he draws the sweeps.
I've seen the triple sweeps against Andromeda,
Oh.
followed by the triple account
Siphon,
siphon.
yes.
Oh,
It's a thing of beauty.
that's brutal.
Luckily, I wasn't in that game because, woof.
So you're out of money as Whizzard. Do you keep hammering or do you slow down a little bit?
I don't know.
Like,
'Cause
you
it
almost-
hasn't been. I feel like he's been over pushing himself,
Yeah.
and now he's not
Like,
great
out
on
of-
resources.
He's out of steam, but the thing is, he
He sucks
doesn't
fast.
need money really to get through
Yeah,
into a server.
true,
So that's
true.
the thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, do you dedicate the time to draw cards and run, or maybe build up some credits just in case?
To run. So this is Assassin. This actually will be pretty obnoxious. And,
Oh, there
It's
we go.
assassin.
and he used the Temple that's right at the bottom of the screen to help res it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's got 2 David counters left, so something is either getting killed or getting bounced unless he throws a bunch of. I guess he can
No,
throw
he
a bunch
can
of
throw
cards. He can
cards
throw a
at
bunch of
him.
cards.
Yeah. He
Which
can
is-
Faust it.
Yeah. It's again 4. It's the
I
same.
mean, how many
thing.
cards does he have in hand? He's got
Yeah,
like
and-
7 or 8
No,
or
it's
something.
5.
Oh, is
Because
it
there's 2
5?
separate teams.
Okay.
Of course, it gives him the difficult decision. Say if he had the cutlery that killed sentries in hand,
That's
because now he
always-
can't kill it.
Yeah, the quandary.
How often have you
Oh, he takes the damage.
Oh, he's taking the damage. Okay.
Which is, and then does he take the trash too?
I don't think. No, I don't
For-
think he's gonna do that.
For all of the watchers, I did that, that great radio technique of holding up my hand and saying 5
Yeah.
when I did that. Just so everyone knows how awfully silly I am.
Extra emphasis. And does he? And he breaks the.
Yeah,
Breaks the trash, most
Okay,
likely.
so take the damage, break the trash.
I think he needs the programs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want Faust going down because I can't remember if that was before the levy when he threw the other Faust.
I mean, if the trash goes off and he loses the David, that's essentially 2 counters gone.
Yeah,
so-
true. Yeah,
Yes.
true.
That's what I was
Considering
thinking.
whether or not to jack out here, I guess.
Yeah, whether do you?
Oh,
Oh.
What?
What is,
wait, what's happening?
he's letting the trash fire.
No, he
Oh, it's
bounced,
being bounced.
David.
Wow, oh, that's
Oh.
surprising. So that
Okay.
recharges David.
Yeah.
I guess he's out of money, so he would have to spend a whole turn clicking for money and then
Yes.
replaying it.
But why wouldn't you do that to Faust?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're on a David that's like out of counters.
Yeah.
I am
I guess
severely
the-
scratching my head
The
on that
only
one.
way, I mean, well, not the only way, but a way it makes sense is if he has like a wraparound, say, on that remote, and he's gonna try to score something through it, but he's kind of out of money too, though. So that,
Yeah, because the wraparound
Yeah.
cost 2, so I mean...
Yeah, well, he has a temple up, but Whizzard can just go trash. Well, he can actually because he's very low. Interesting.
Yes. No, I mean...
Very interesting.
So that was a very interesting
Faust
choice.
is 3 to install, right?
Faust is 3.
Yes, it's not even a money thing.
It's both. They're both cost the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
but it recharges David.
You're allowing
Yeah,
David
yeah.
to be recharged here for some reason.
Yeah.
That is an odd selection for bounce. I'm
Yeah.
trying to... That...
Yeah.
Unless that signals something about his remote, maybe. Because I guess he could, if he has... Josh just spent a bunch of cards there. So if he has wraparound on the remote, he's got temple. He could potentially go for a score.
It's like he's going in again.
Whoa, he just went into
Oh.
R&D. Wow.
And he's
Okay.
just taking the trashes.
He is just
Oh, wow. He's just
going
for
all
it.
in.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Trash, bounces.
Shouldn't that have gone into his... Oh, no, because he trashed first, and then
Yeah,
he...
bounce
advanced
wild
on
side.
something.
And it's nothing.
Bum bum ba-dum.
Whoa.
I mean, it's a potentially game-winning run, but...
Now he's pretty crippled, though.
Well, I guess you can run through Assassin.
He can basically run through everything, but he just has to take
Yeah.
the 3 net damage every
As
time.
long as he can take the damage. Now, Wild Side's back in his hand, though, so he really can't. So just checking.
It's the CVS, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one of them got
Put back in.
put back at some point. Okay, so I think...
Well, he never trashed the one in his hand.
Oh,
No,
right,
yeah,
so he
yeah.
installed the one from his hand. Gets him a card draw anyway. So wow, yeah, this puts the ball back in Joseph's court here, I think. And the deck is pretty thin. As far as museum deck goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he needs to have that museum up. I mean, museum's only 3 to trash, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So, I
So
mean,
it's-
he could just run at it.
Yeah.
Whizzard can praise be unto thee, the museum.
Baiting and just takes
Takes
money
credit.
to end the turn.
Getting his NEH draw going on.
Yeah, and I think you want to just keep. You want to draw here. I think
Mhm.
you want everything in your hand right now.
I think.
Oh,
he
did they
just-
go to? They went to time. So
Oh,
what happened here is they went to
okay.
time. Josh is the number 1 seed, so he gets the victory. And agendas were very low, so this was going to go on for a while.
Oh, okay.
Oh, damn! Is there another? Is he only running 1-2-1? Yeah, he is.
Okay,
yeah.
so...
Oh wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
But he had, like, what, 7 more points in his deck, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
It was
But
a
it was
lot of
under
stuff.
the 15.
Yeah, so he would have hit the 15 first.
right.
So it was going to be, oh wow, and I think that's a shame because that explains why Josh did all of those kind of sort of reckless plays there. Is they were going to time, and so he
Okay,
just-
that makes more
makes
sense.
a lot more
that
sense.
makes more sense.
So yeah, Josh takes the victory on a very tense game going to time there and advances on. Joseph's heading down to the losers bracket, and we'll be moving right along. So hopefully we'll see you guys soon.
Take it easy.
Take care.
See ya.